Ah, there we go. I think it's pretty funny because, like, right in the middle of the countdown, it went live where I viewed the chat. And it's like, oh, I hear the countdown. I should probably mute that so I don't get confused.
I do that too.
Yeah. How's everyone doing tonight? How are you guys out in the chat doing? And how are you, Culture Casino?
Oh, I'm great. I'm wonderful. I'm otherworldly right now. I reached monetization for real this time. Not, I have the hours and I have the subs, but they actually decided that, oh, hey, we reviewed you and you're all right.
You're not a terrible person. You're not spreading fake news. We'll monetize you for now until we say otherwise. Mm-hmm. What's up, Perry Chan? What is up, everyone in the chat? Let's go through and see who we have here. Starting at the top, we have Tina Bojan, Toxic Man Flu. We already have a 99 Super Pooper sticker from Christy. For some reason, it didn't show up in the chat feed, but I saw it on the back end side, which is kind of funny. We also have Andrew Stewart, Naughty Monkey Orath. Let's see, Andrew. I already said Andrew Stewart. Did I not? The Great One is here. How's it going, everyone? We also have Grand Moff Inquisitor, Diablo Dame, David Blair, Timo Flip, 66 Starship Alien, as well as Dark Admiral March Hare. And I know there's another person here that I missed. I want to say it wasn't Mechany90. It was Montanui. I saw Montanui in the chat somewhere. So, how's everybody doing? Some crazy fucking times, man. With the shit that's going on in the world. Oh, also before I forget, because I know that some people have been asking for it. I do have the live channel up, and I put the last 2 live streams there. It's in the description. So if you guys can go and sub to the Division Live, I think it's what I called it. Go check that out.
Yeah.
So, wow, dude, we got a lot of crazy stuff to talk about tonight. And I know right now it's just the 2 of us. Hopefully, some of the others will join. If not,
sure.
Let's talk about some Joe Biden news.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which part?
I want to start with a credible news source, the Babylon Bee.
Oh, perfect. They've been right. They've been right a lot.
I love this article. It's so fucking funny. You should absolutely not read the disgusting, totally false story about Joe Biden's son that we've linked in the article. There's a disgusting, absolutely 100% false story about Joe Biden's son going around. It's so bad that it's been completely it's been condemned by the wise, moral, and upstanding people who run Twitter and Facebook. Oh man, guys, this shit is fucking priceless. I love the way. Yeah, I know they're so great. When mentioning the story, you can get banned from these platforms. Have they actually banned anyone?
Yeah, actually several people were booted, including the press secretary for the White House, McEnany.
Holy shit!
Yeah, they brought her back. She was on like a big timeout. So
wow, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and they also did it to the main the Trump campaign Twitter. So they just said no.
Wow, that's crazy. No. That's how bad and false the story is. It claims that Biden's son, who did a lot of really bad stuff, allegedly, stuff that he certainly did not do. It says that there was clear alleged corruption in the Obama administration, Obama-Biden administration, with Biden allegedly pulling strings for his allegedly wayward son. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly. The story also had a bunch of obviously doctored photos of the former vice president's alleged son doing some insane stuff. Allegedly.
His alleged son. His alleged son.
Oh, good stuff. All this stuff is 100% false, and you should not even give it the time of day. You shouldn't read it at all. Here's the story. That again, to be clear, you absolutely should not read.
No. Don't do that.
Don't
read it.
Don't read it. Don't read it whatsoever.
Don't read it. Don't read it. But go ahead and read
it. Since you did not click the article, you were not horrified by the alleged revelations about H. Biden. So, your life is much better for not reading the completely false story. We are glad you did not read it and share it with others because you are good, upstanding citizens. It would never share false smears about someone. Good job.
Good job.
Good job. All right. Giggity. So good. And of course, they have a link right here to the article, which we will not pull up or read because, YouTube will. That's the first thing YouTube's going to do is demonetized.
Hey.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But we do have some other articles we can talk about that do discuss this whole situation.
Okay.
NPR. Because they are a credible news source.
No.
Facebook and Twitter limit sharing of New York Post story about Joe Biden. That's the thing that's so scary about this. So this is actually from a newspaper. The New York Post. The New York Post. They've been around for quite some time. It's not like it's Tom, Dick, and Harry's website about news. They've been around for quite some time, and they printed this article as well as putting it on their website. And here we have Facebook and Twitter limiting the reach of this article. Because, folks, if this was something that was exposing Trump as being a fraud or his son doing something nasty that came from alleged leaks, they wouldn't give a fuck. It would be all over Twitter, all over Facebook. But because this is about a certain candidate, folks, it's the reason why this information is being suppressed.
Yeah.
Fucking 2020. And I know you have some stuff to talk about the whole thing with 230 reform. And at this point, I swear to God, I hope Facebook and Twitter get 230 pulled.
Well, me too. I think that here's the thing. So then what? I mean, then what changes the operation of that of them as entities? What will they have to do
now? Okay, because that is pulled, they are now liable for things that people post.
Right.
So it puts them in a very precarious situation. It means they'll censor more people, but it means that they're no longer a platform. It means that they're a publisher.
Yep. Yeah, and that changes the rules 150%, which essentially eliminates their business. So they are destroying their own business by allowing censorship.
Yeah,
by censoring it themselves, because you are no longer you have now acted as a publisher by censoring, by editing, by doing those things. A free platform allows you to do nearly anything within the framework of the law. And those are the bounds with which you are controlled. So when, and this is why I love that you outlined it for everybody. So when they pull those protections, they will no longer be able to operate with the impunity the way they do now. Their promoted tweets and all those other things are essentially just relegated to advertisement. You won't be able to interact with people to the same extent that you do now, which means your platform will shrink, which means your reach will shrink, all of that stuff. Everything that you built up to get to a point where you can monetize this business, because Twitter's only actually been making money for, I don't know, a handful of years now. I mean, for most of its existence early on, it was free, not making anything, couldn't really monetize it well. didn't seem to, attract advertisers until very recently. So this would change the landscape. Same thing with Facebook. Facebook, right. If you're going to go to the problem, if you're going to go to all that trouble, to what extent can you do that? Can you offer free news groups? Can you offer groups, private groups for Fred's summer camp? Because what if somebody says something in Fred's summer camp? So you start to get this weird thing. So each group would then have to have a terms of service. This becomes a nightmare for these companies.
Yeah, it makes these companies unsustainable at this point.
Yeah. So well, actually, yeah. If they keep going down this road, and if the Senate does what I think they're going to do, they're in trouble. Anyway, I'm sorry. I took away from the story.
No. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So real quick, we have Toxic Man Flu for $5. $5. Irony, the person who saved Twitter, Trump. Very true. And that's all Trump needs to do. All he needs to do is switch to another platform like Parler, and Twitter would basically go down the shitter at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you.
I don't disagree with me either.
Well,
sorry,
you're a smart guy.
That's a joke.
No, it was very funny, but you're a bright dude. So yeah.
Anyway, you're already on the stream, man. You don't need to suck up anymore.
I'm not sucking up.
No,
I'm having fun. This is fun for me.
Okay, so apparently this article was updated 9:14 p.m. Eastern time. I didn't get a chance to read it before they updated it, so I'm not sure what was updated. Facebook and Twitter took action on Wednesday to limit the distribution of New York Post reporting with unconfirmed claims. I love how they put unconfirmed claims about Democratic president nominee Joe Biden, leading President Trump's campaign and allies to charge the companies with censorship. It's because they are censoring it. Both social media companies said the moves were aimed at slowing the spread of potentially false information.
Potentially
false. Also, potentially true.
Well, let's not remember that part or the possibility of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we can't even keep going because otherwise I'm going to destroy this thing before we get through a paragraph.
But they gave few details about how they reached their decision, sparking criticism about the lack of clarity and consistency with which they apply their rules. At least they put that in because that is actually true. The New York Post published a series of stories on Wednesday citing emails purportedly sent to Biden's son, Hunter, that the news outlet says it got from Trump's private attorney, Rudy Giuliani, and former Trump advisor, Steve Bannon. Let's go ahead and close that out real quick. Facebook was limiting distribution of the Post's main story while its outside fact checkers reviewed the claims. Spokesman Andy Stone said that means the platform's algorithm won't place posts links to the story as highly in people's feeds, reducing the number of users who see it. However, the story has still been linked, shared, or commented on almost 600,000 times on Facebook, according to data from CrowdTangle, whatever the fuck that is, a research tool owned by the social network. Okay, well, there you go. Stone said that Facebook sometimes takes the step if it sees signals that something gained traction is false, to give fact checkers time to evaluate the story before it spreads widely. Now, here's the problem with the whole fact checking thing.
Most of them are in the pocket of somebody.
Wow. Yeah. Well, it's not like these people don't have an agenda too. It's I know if you guys watch Tim Pool talk about the whole thing with fact checking, they'll lead in with a lie, say it's false, even though what is actually said is true. He did not give more details on what signals Facebook users or how often it takes this approach. Twitter went further. It is blocking users from posting pictures of emails or links to the New York Post stories, referring to them. Stories referring to them. Spokesman Trenton Kennedy said, citing its rules against sharing content obtained through hacking that contains private information. But the thing that they don't talk about, is, quite frankly, here's the issue. I don't care how it was obtained. It's whether it is true or not. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the whole thing with WikiLeaks. This is the whole thing.
That got published everywhere and shared around.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. WikiLeaks has been spread all over Twitter and no issues, right?
And everywhere. Yeah.
But this bombshell, no. All right. Let me grab the super chat real quick here. So Imperial Lupia for 10 American dollars. It's a bit complicated to explain, but the big tech companies have a very interdependent ecosystem here in the Bay. Yeah, absolutely. One of them collapsing could easily affect all of them, not just Twitter and Crackbook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I definitely think there's big tech collusion.
Yeah. Oh, there has been for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not new. I mean, Imperial Lumpia is 1,000% right. That is a very tightly knit, very closed ecosystem. Those folks eat lunch together. They're in meetings together all the time. They interact. It's a weird way, and you end up sometimes with employees just passing from one tech to another. When they're like, we can't move you any farther up yet, so but there's room over here. Because I know that because some of my friends used to be in that part of the world. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, if one of them does have a hiccup, they're all going to have a hiccup. They're interdependent, and I think that's a brilliant observation.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize.
I'm lengthy. I talk a lot.
No,
I talk a lot. All right.
That's the whole point of live stream, man. Is that we talk.
All right.
And we talk.
I talk a lot. I talk a lot.
Users who try to share the link on Twitter are shown a notice saying we can't complete this request because the link has been identified by Twitter or our partners as being potentially harmful to Joe Biden's campaign.
Well, they're a partner. They're a partner.
Yeah.
Biden's a partner.
If a user clicks on the link already posted on Twitter, the user is taken to a warning screen. We've seen this before, and I covered this before. This link may be unsafe, which they I hate that. Unsafe, yeah, because it could have harmful content for your eyes and not harmful content for your computer, which they have to click past to read the story. Twitter also required the New York Post, this is the thing that is crazy, the New York Post to delete the tweet about the story. They'll never do that to The Guardian. No.
Nope. Wow. Or The Economist. The Economist was 3 stories in a row were total garbage. Anyway, sorry.
Remember when The Economist used to be a reputable magazine?
I do. When they looked more like a libertarian rag than anything else. Yes, I do remember those days. I used to get them when I used flying. When I would get on, but I would stop at the Hudson Press or whatever, Hudson News or whatever the things are in the airport. I'd grab that on the way to the plane. So no moss.
Yeah, no moss. Twitter said, same thing with a lot of like really good ones like the Wall Street Journal. Twitter said it decided to block the links because it couldn't be sure about the origins of the emails. It's pretty fucking apparent where they came from. It said in its policies prohibited the use of other services or distributed content obtained without authorization, and that it doesn't. What about all those WikiLeaks articles that people posted? Are those being blocked yet? Sorry, I keep going back to that.
And all those supposed leaks of things of doctored audio cuts from Melania Trump, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, those were obtained by illegal methods or without authorized methods.
That's fine. It's about Trump and his wife. It's it's not about Biden.
I'm sorry. Dang, I'm wrong.
It's all good. It's all good. And that it doesn't want to encourage hacking by allowing people to share possible illegally obtained material. Okay, so if they don't want to contribute to hacking, Why does Anonymous still have Twitter accounts?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Just throwing that out there.
If they're worried about illegal activities, why do they still help out the map community? Why are they still? Why do they still allow for Antifa and BLM, who are committing illegal acts as a whole, as a group, on a regular basis? Why is that okay? I'm just curious.
Yeah, just curious, folks. Real quick, let me get this $5 super chat from Toxic Man Flu. Now they have journalistic integrity. These people can't understand normal thinking. Yeah.
No.
God damn, dude. It's the fucking worst, man. And here's the thing. I want to point this out really quick. If they were doing this shit for Trump, I'd be criticizing them as well, because this is not how democracy works, folks. The media is supposed to fucking be there to check this shit. They are the checks on the corruption within our government. And now they are colluding with certain parties. That is the thing that is so fucking disgusting about this.
So were they the fourth column or the fifth? They're the fifth estate, right?
I don't remember.
The media, the press.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. So, I have a real problem with that. I mean, there used to be investigative journalists. There used to be people who actually research stories before they filed them, right? And I think some of this downfall came because of the 24-hour news cycle.
Yes, I've complained about the 24-hour news cycle quite a bit.
Yeah, and because everybody wants to be first. And so now we can be first by being on Twitter. But now first can be filtered. That's bad.
Yeah. But remember that thing? I think it was the Washington Times said, democracy dies in darkness. I mean, they're not wrong. That is actually something that is very true. It's just no longer earned by them. It's fucking sad, because it just become the propaganda arm of certain political parties.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. No news outlet or journalist should be a spreading propaganda for anybody. That's the answer.
No, it's awful. But see, they continue to do it. It's not. That's the problem, that we no longer tell. There's no longer news. It's narrative. We've had this conversation a lot, I think, in various forms. And I think that it's the same. They teach a worldview in school. They don't teach history or social studies or economics. It's a worldview. Worldview is very dangerous, because that's individually perspective based. It's not based in fact. It's a telling of selected facts. That's bad news.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the reason why I tell you, everybody out there listening to me, do your own research. Don't rely on anything I tell you. Don't rely on anything Tim Pool tells you. Do your own research. The reason why is because we're human, we're fallible. Sometimes we simply get things wrong, and you need to educate yourself. That is the most important thing. It's also the reason why you need to listen to the other side, because the other side, if the other side wants to silence you, odds are their truth cannot stand up to scrutiny. And if your side is wanting to ban the other side, odds are your truth can't stand up to scrutiny. So do your research, be educated, be smart. Hey, Ishi, how's it going, man?
Ishi!
Hey, it's going okay. How about you?
Not too bad.
All right.
Doing pretty good. We're going through this NPR article talking about the whole Biden thing.
Are they claiming he's completely innocent? And
no, they're trying to be impartial. Trying. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of press outlets just outright lying and saying, "See, this proves innocence."
No.
How?
I don't know.
Because it was blocked by Twitter, and we know Twitter is the moral authority on everything truth and just and righteous.
Yeah. Man, this year could not get any more fucking sane. Okay. But the company declined to comment on how it reached that decision or what evidence it had about the emails, the posts in the post stories. The company later gave an additional explanation for why it was blocking the stories. Its safety team said in a tweet that the images of the emails in the article included personal and private information like email addresses and phone numbers, which violated our rules against unauthorized sharing of such details.
It didn't. It did not have those.
Didn't have any of those.
Nope. Did not have anything in violation of Twitter's policies. Not a one.
Yeah.
And also public figure, but we'll skirt that until later.
All right. CEO Jack Dorsey acknowledged that the company's communication about why it was blocking the article was not great. You think? He tweeted that it was unacceptable to prevent the people from sharing with zero context as to why we're blocking. Yeah, of course, dude. What the fuck ever, Jack? I think you're full of shit.
Oh yeah. So does the Judicial Committee, but we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. Asked for comment about the social network's actions, the New York Post spokeswoman Ivana Benson referred to NPR to an article by the paper's editorial board. I guess we can probably pull that one.
An article by the paper's editorial board. Editorial meaning opinion.
Yes.
But, okay, go ahead. Next.
The editorial board. Our story explains where the information came from, and a Senate committee now confirms it also reviewed the files from the same source. The editorial said, yet Facebook and Twitter are deliberately trying to keep users from reading and deciding for themselves what it means, which is basically how you're supposed to read the news. But, 2020 folks, you're not allowed to make decisions on your own. You're just supposed to believe, listen, and believe. This is the narrative we've been fed. Yeah. This is the narrative that we've been fed for years now.
Remember that obey? You ever see that obey thing?
Yes.
You ever see that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I should have used that for the thumbnail.
Sorry.
No, dude, that would have been good. Twitter and Facebook have been acting more aggressively in recent weeks to curb the spread of false claims and manipulation related to the election as part of its effort to avoid a repeat of 2016. You mean the election of Donald Trump? Oh, yes. I'm sorry. When Russia-linked actors use social media to target American voters. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Also wrong and false and fake.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, man.
If only they'd shown this sort of discretion when sharing information regarding the Russia hoax.
Yes.
There didn't seem to be any editorial standards at that point. With
Twitter. Well, no, that's the thing that's so funny about all of that is that, they've MSN and Woozy, what's her name, had been pushing that fucking fake Russiagate story, that fake narrative for 4 fucking years. Total bullshit. So anyway,
and they continue to do it even in the freaking debate, even in the town halls tonight. I mean, it's never going away. The fake bologna sausage is not going away.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it like trust in media? Something like 60% of the public now says they have no faith in the media.
Yeah.
Lower. It's yeah. No, I went over that story. I think actually you might have been here. It might have been last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever. But yeah, that number is even lower now. It's under 60. It's under 60%. It's 62% that have little faith and or in total between the two, little faith and no faith. Yeah. Kind of a thing. Yeah, those metrics are bad for media. And of course, it's higher with Democrats. They believe the media. Anyway.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. Real quick.
I had a wonderful argument with my father-in-law the other night when he flipped out when he read the article by Gretchen Whitmer, who said that everything that went on in Michigan was Trump's fault.
Michigan. Yeah.
And I flat out said, so the corrupt governor wrote an article saying it's not her fault,
that part.
and you believed her. So anyway.
Yeah, that whole thing is sketchy as fuck, man. Anyway, real quick, let me get some super chats real quick from Toxic Man Flu for $2. I do my own research because Convicts Division told me to. Well, somebody has to tell you, man. Imperial Lupia for $2. History buffs know all about sifting through bias. Yeah. It's nothing new, right? And we just got this new one from Toxic Man Flu for $5. What do Rachel Maddow and Milli Vanilli have in common? I guess that it's not. And it's not the dreads. Lip syncing. Yeah. Yeah, that's anyway. So Facebook has been warning about the possibility of hacks and leaks operations where stolen documents or other sensitive materials are strategically leaked. As happened in the 2016 with hacked emails from the Democratic National Committee and the Hillary Clinton campaign. Again, it's like I don't condone the hacking, but if it's true, does it matter where the information came from? Does it make the information any less true? That's the thing that bothers me about all this.
Well, yeah, but this has been part and parcel of investigative journalism for time immemorial. I mean, the New York Post, as a paper, started back in the 1800s. In fact, 1801. So under a slightly different name, but it's the same publication. And part of some of the stuff they did early on was investigative journalism, and to the point where they obtained a lot of stuff through dubious means. And you know what? It's still news. It's still important. The public needs to know. The sunshine is the best disinfectant when it comes to politics.
You guys remember the Steele dossier? Yeah. If somebody out in the chat, actually, I'll just repeat what it is. So the Steele dossier was this, the spy, this British spy, I think his name was John Steele, who basically had all this information that showed Trump as being a corrupt asset of the Russian government. Mm-hmm. And there's no way they could prove it to be fact. As a matter of fact, I think it was actually disproved. But
wasn't there a part in there where it flat out says, and then he went to the toilet and raised his arm and pissed and said, "I like to imagine I'm peeing on black people."
I don't remember that, but I think I do remember something. Oh, Michael Steele. Thank you. It was Michael Steele, not John Steele.
Yeah.
I remember something about golden showers being in there, and it was like the exclusive for Huffington Post.
Yeah, which is also a news organization that apparently is.
Or was it? No, it was BuzzFeed. It was BuzzFeed News, not Huffington Post.
Equally of same merit and quality, but no, but the Steele dossier was essentially just a political research piece. They do that opposition research on their candidates. So it was mostly like a huff and a prayer. It was not. Very little of it had accurate information other than Trump's name.
Yeah, so pretty much. Anyway. And somebody's saying it's Christopher Steele. Yes, it actually is saying it is Christopher Steele. Christopher David Steele. Which I guess is a real person. I mean, it's a Wikipedia article on him. Doesn't necessarily mean it's real, though, but I don't know. Who fucking cares? Like I said, folks, we live in a post-truth world. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah. Well, they changed the Merriam-Webster dictionary to match the new definition of what sexual preference is supposed to be called.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Well, they had that whole thing about how at the hearings for the new Supreme Court judge, how she didn't use the right terminology.
Oh, right? Sexual preference.
Yeah, and apparently the Merriam-Webster dictionary didn't confirm that, so they changed it to fit.
Yep.
Wow.
In real time, they edited the dictionary.
This is why physical media is important. This is why actual physical dictionaries is important.
Physical things, physical media of all sorts are very important now, folks.
Yeah. Dude, it's fucking bizarre, man.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, I mean, the Steele dossier was entirely funded by the DNC, or actually a representative third party of the DNC, I think, called something kind of a beacon or whatever. But they ran multiple operations surrounding the election, and basically just to try to trump up whatever they could against Trump.
Womp womp.
So that was fortuitous.
Have you also noticed they're guilty of everything they've accused him of?
No, wait a minute.
Russia, the Ukraine, go down the list.
Yeah. Anything that a Democrat tells you that the other side's doing, count on them
doing it.
Yeah. Oh, Trump's all about the KKK. Well, you know what, Mr. Biden, can you explain why you were best friends and mentored by the Grand Poobah of I forget what they're called, Grand Imperial Cyclops of Doom or whatever it is for the muckety muck of that thing?
Well, let's also not forget, Clinton's ties to that too. Hillary's.
Oh, sure. But we're just talking about Biden right now, and he's like holding hands with Byrd, right? And he even eulogized him all the way like up and down the street till Sunday when he was dead. And then consider this: in '77, he's going out of his way to say some really awful things about black folks. I mean, these aren't made up. If you were a journalist right now, you would be going after every time he calls somebody else a racist. You would be going after him with this material. That's what you're supposed to do as a journalist. They're not doing it because, again, he said something about racial jungles or something in '77 by having non-segregated schools. Just awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
I remember he definitely said some shit. Yeah.
It was 77.
Well, and that was like the reason why they wanted to pair him with Obama, right? Was to improve his image because they wanted him to run after Obama.
And then they put Hillary in.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, the thing was, his son died, and that was the reason why he stepped away. It makes me wonder if maybe the senility issues kind of like
could have been tied to the emotional thing.
Sure. Yeah. Actually, I want to pop this up. This
Didn't he have a stroke years ago?
He did. This is the moral of Ghost in the Shell. As a society becomes more mechanized, there is a great need for authenticity. Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you, Philip. You're right. And right below that comment is from Michael Segriff. He got it right. He didn't want his kid in a racial jungle.
Wow.
That's almost exactly the quote. Yep. Thank you. I knew I had it close. The verbatim I'm not great at when it comes to old stuff like that, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. I think I already read that. Okay.
Man,
what's that?
I feel like I take us off course so easily.
No, it's fine. Oh, here, I'll take us off course one more time before we continue on. The stream's already demonetized.
Yes.
At least we haven't gotten like the red screen of death or whatever. Your stream has been turned in.
It's coming.
Yeah, probably.
We're dancing.
Yeah. It's so scary when actually reading an article by a newspaper will get you banned.
The NPR even.
Well, they've been making shit up lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're the soyest of the soy. Oh, gosh. Wait a minute. I'm going to harken back to just a few weeks ago. Didn't we do another NPR thing that made me want to find a building to jump off of?
We did. We were reading the NPR article in defense of looting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did want to jump off a building after that one. Yeah, I couldn't find a tall enough one near my house.
That was fantastic. Okay, this story is a... I can't even read that word. Microcosm. There we go. Okay. This story is a microcosm of something that I think we can expect to happen a lot over the next few weeks. And I think demonstrates why platforms have clear policies that they are prepared to stick to in really important, it is really important, said Elian, I'm not trying to say the person's name, a Harvard Law Scholar, a Harvard Law School lecturer who studies the regulation of online speech. Well, here's the thing. You're going to see more of a crackdown because obviously there's a narrative that needs to be pushed and a presidential candidate that needs to win. So yes, you're going to see more and more of this. God damn it, Toxic Manful, you kill me sometimes. Culture Casino, I spent $100 to try and get Comms Division to stop reading that. Yeah.
I know, I was here.
Abortion of an article. Yeah.
I was like, really?
I thought it was $10. That wasn't $100.
Oh, it was. He kept throwing money at you, dude. How much do I have to spend to get you to stop?
you know you love the Toxic Manflu.
Oh my God.
Okay. It's really unclear if they what.
Oh, sorry. I just Cavatano Che says Wes Moody's webcast STD review got nuked, and then he restarted while Gary was doing his. Wow, that's happening a lot. They're nuking a lot of stuff lately. I'm sorry, that's just caught my eye. It's nuts.
You have the wrong opinion about a TV show.
TV show.
Quick, YouTube, they're costing us money. Get these fuckers off the air. It's really unclear if they have stepped up in exponentially in this case, and if they have, why they've done so. She said. The inevitability leads to exactly the kind of outcry that we've seen, which is that they're doing it for political reasons and because they're biased. Well, no shit. It's because they are. Anyway.
They've expressed their bias. It's not a secret, Evelyn.
Yeah. Evelyn. Anyway, check your Twitter if you want to distract yourself from the BS. Okay. I'll have to do that in private.
I'm sure there's a meme.
Oh, that's oh, that's funny, dude. The whole thing with the Script Doctor and the memes, the Script Doctor character memes are pretty fucking funny. All right, I'll have to read the rest of the stuff later, man. Anyway, so we know. Yeah, it's pretty fucking apparent that they're biased. Republicans seized on the episode as proof of long-running assertion that the social media censors conservative voices. There is no statistic evidence to support those claims. Bull fucking shit.
Wait a minute. This lady is some kind of a law professor at Harvard or some other thing that she's talking about an expertise that she doesn't have. Yes. She's a lecturer. She's not even she's just a lecturer. Wait. Evelyn Duke, a Harvard Law School lecturer who studies the regulation of online speech. She's a lecturer.
Yeah. Again, the idea that these people have made their way into education and are influencing our children. Here's the thing. Okay. You know how it's biased? You know how you can say it's biased? Is the fact that they don't ban the fucking Antifa accounts that basically do the exact same shit that they claim the conservatives are doing.
Yeah. Again,
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, they didn't seem to have a problem when Ice-T was posting all that anti-Semitic crap about needing to do something about the Jews.
Yeah.
Oh, so what about that? I actually even sent that to Jack. Said, so it's okay when he does it, huh?
Yep. Oh, yeah. This the same thing with not just Ice-T, but Farrakhan.
Oh, it's not Ice-T. It was Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. Cool. Yeah.
Ice-T is actually cool. It was Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They don't stop like Farrakhan.
Yeah, but don't stop there. Don't stop there. Cuomo's doing it. He's got the sheriffs rounding up the folks that of the Jewish faith that are in their schools and their school housing and everything else right now. They call people on the right anti-Semitic. That's the thing that I know that really pisses me off is I see more anti-Semitism coming from the left than I ever had in my entire life.
When I worked for in college, I worked for an activist organization called California Peace Action, which was supposed to be an anti-war thing. I never in my life encountered more hatred of Jews than in that office, which was strange because a fair number of them were Jews, but
that's really weird.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Well, it's really funny thing too. It all depends on if they're secular Jews or whatnot, you know. Like for the most part, my wife she's secular For the most part, most of our family are. But anyway, yeah, really weird. Trump tweeted that it was so terrible that Facebook and Twitter took down the story, although Facebook did not remove it from the platform. Repeal Section 230, he wrote, referring to the longstanding legal shield that protects online platforms from being sued over what people post on them, and say that they can't be published for reasonable moderation of the post. Trump has repeatedly called for Section 230 to be revoked. A lot of us have, actually. Oh, thank God we're almost done with this thing. Senator Joe Hawley, Republican of, was it Montana? Is that Emma?
Missouri.
Montana? Missouri. Okay.
I think it's Missouri. It might be Montana, but I think it's Missouri.
Okay. Sent a letter to the CEO of both Facebook and Twitter on Wednesday, pressing them on decisions to reduce distribution and block the story. Hawley also sent a letter to the Federal Elections Commission saying that the company's actions possibly contribute ingracious campaign finance violations benefiting the Biden campaign.
That's true.
The Senate Republican Conference, which is led by Senator Joe Barrasso. Yeah.
Barrasso, sure, yeah.
Republican of Wyoming, tweeted, "See you soon at Jack," with the image of the Post story. Dorsey, the Twitter CEO, is scheduled to testify along with Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Google CEO Sundar Pichai before Senate Commerce Committee on October 28th, 6 days before the election. The topic, Section 230.
Oh, they're going to love it. It's going to be amazing. Amazing.
All right. You wanted to say some stuff on that, didn't you?
I did. And really, I want to say this. Right before or right as these things were happening and Jack was putting out his mea culpa, we screwed up. Well, not really, but we medium screwed up. Or we didn't really screw up. We overreacted and we still are supposedly protecting you thing that he did on Twitter after all of this had gone down. Right as that was happening, the ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee, James Comer, was drafting this letter that I have shared with the class. And
you want me to share it?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
All right, here we go. This is the letter from James Comer. Dear Mr. Dorsey, you see how polite he is?
Very polite.
Yesterday, the New York Post published an article discussing alleged emails showing Hunter Biden may have introduced his father, then Vice President Joe Biden, to an executive from Burisma, an Ukrainian energy firm, which was paying Hunter Biden tens of thousands of dollars per month. If true, this narrative raises questions about whether Joe Biden lied to the American public about using his position as vice president to help his son's Ukrainian business dealings, which he did. Shortly after its publication, the article began to circulate.
Allegedly. You forgot allegedly.
Oh, dang it. Sorry. Allegedly. His alleged son also. Shortly after its publication, the article began to circulate and be retweeted on Twitter. Such activities are not uncommon when breaking news occurs. Yesterday, however, Twitter responded very differently than it had in past instances where important stories had been published by major media outlets. This is true. Despite yesterday's article being placed in the fourth largest newspaper in the United States, that's significant, Twitter unilaterally decided to mark the story as potentially unsafe and blocked it. Twitter also temporarily locked White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany. I cannot say her name.
McEnany.
Thank you. McEnany. Thank you. McEnany's account. Anyway, as well as the New York Post adding notices to their tweets saying they violated Twitter's rules on prohibiting publishing hacked materials, which those were not. After the New York Post article was blocked, Twitter then suppressed an official press release from the Republicans on the House Judiciary Committee. Oops. that reposted the article and blocked users from retweeting the link. Also, oops. Though you later acknowledged blocking the article without context was unacceptable and the company's communication surrounding its actions was not great, Twitter tamped down circulation of the article and limited its liability to be shared with the American people in doing so. Twitter benefited one candidate for president at the expense of another. Spaghetti-o. Page 2. Such Orwellian tactics are the opposite of how Twitter has responded during other major news cycles over the past several years. Recently, the New York Times published a series of articles regarding President Trump's taxes. Despite the suspect legality of the Times obtaining the tax records and writing about them, Twitter took no steps to limit dissemination of the article on its platform. During the hearings to confirm Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court in 2018, rumors swirled about on Twitter with suspect veracity, all later proven to be false. Yet, Twitter took no steps then either to limit dissemination of such rumors on its platform. Perhaps even more troubling, Brendan Borman, Twitter's vice president of global communications, claimed Twitter took these steps under the hijacked materials policy without providing any evidence the materials were the result of hacking. Borman even claimed Twitter had blocked links before under the policy, but did not specify when. Therefore, please provide a list of all links Twitter has blocked on its platform from January 1, 2019 to present. In addition, please provide answers to the following questions. What, if any, steps did Twitter take to verify the accuracy of yesterday's New York Post article before blocking its URL and locking certain accounts? 2. What evidence, if any, does Twitter have that the emails mentioned in yesterday's New York Post article were hacked? 3. What, if any, steps did Twitter take to verify the accuracy of September to October 2020 New York Times articles regarding President Trump's taxes? 4. Was there any discussion within Twitter leadership about the New York Times article falling under Twitter's rules on prohibiting publishing hacked materials? 5. What, if any, steps did Twitter take to verify the accuracy of the myriad rumors surrounding Brett Kavanaugh shared on Twitter in early September 2018? I look forward to receiving your responses in this matter no later than 5 p.m. on Friday, October 16th. Sincerely, James Comer, Ranking Member, and CC Honorable Carolyn Maloney, Chairwoman.
I am really curious to see if anything actually happens out of this. You know, I'm not going to hold my breath. And Diablo Dame did point out MO is Missouri. And I agree, Missouri should be called Missouri.
Very much so.
I've known quite a few people from there.
Yeah.
Hence the joke about it being Missouri.
Yeah, very much.
Wow. Yeah, so this whole thing is really interesting. It's like we've heard about the whole thing with Biden and the whole thing with Ukraine for several months. Of course, they've kept trying to shoot it down and shoot away, and yeah. One thing I have to state too, which I do think is a bit of dirty politics. Apparently, they've been sitting on this. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Of course. You always have a stack of this thing is a slow burn. This is the October surprise from the 80s. This definitely falls under October surprise for sure. But this is just going to keep coming. This will be the steamroller that they can't prevent. And the only way they can try to prevent it is to do what they're doing, which is limit its dissemination or slow the spread of the dissemination. Kind of like what we're supposed to do about the coof that everybody's got right now. Mm-hmm. Right. But instead we went from slowing the coof to like not doing jack anything because we had to flatten the curve. But now the curve was flat for a while. And I don't want to go into it. Anyway, the whole concept here is to delay. That's the number one rule in politics, delay. Mm-hmm. And you know what? The tech companies are doing it. You know, when you no longer have an advantage, delay. And right now they don't have an advantage. They're in big trouble. The Judiciary Committee is for real, and they're going to go after this for sure. I mean, everybody's coming to the Hill, and it's going to be 6 days before an election. You think that those guys are going to risk what could happen to them between now and when President Trump leaves office if he's somehow voted out? They're going to have a problem.
I think they assume if Trump leaves, they're fine.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to assume as well.
I'm sure that's their assumption. They'll be able to get back to the cronyism, business as usual stuff that they've been practicing, marching forward in their controlling agenda. But I don't, like I said, beyond that, but look at the other side of this coin. If they can't steal the election, and by goodness, I'm not partisan because I don't belong to either of the major political parties.
Right.
But I can say if they manage to steal this election, because by goodness, the only way that they're going to get it is to do so.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. So if they can't, then they're in massive trouble, because the next 4 years are going to be nothing but payback for the last 4 years. Yeah. In a way that they're not prepared for. And believe me, big tech is going to be much smaller tech, because you can see a landslide of cartel suits coming at them. That would be antitrust for those of you out there. So that stuff's coming. They're going to start busting them up like Ma Bell back in the 80s and 90s. So anyway.
Well, they kind of deserve it at this point. So Forbidden Room is saying the FBI had the laptop since December of 2019 and ignored it. That's frightening. And we thankfully, the laptop didn't disappear.
No, actually,
it would be scary if it did.
Well, and the copy of the hard drive ended up with Giuliani, and so but see, here's the thing: this is what is really interesting. There is a pretty decent chain of custody for all of this stuff, and it's really easy to run the hashes back through Google and through other means to prove that not only is it Hunter Biden's laptop. That would take just a matter of moments for anybody with half the chops, of computer savvy. But you can also prove essentially everything that's in those documents, because they line up with the timeline perfectly. And Biden's own campaign has now come out and said, well, we can't specifically state that this was missing from his official schedule or something weird. They really worded it odd that Biden may have met with them not on his official schedule. Well, no kidding, because it's freaking bad. I mean, this is, what is the right word? Itchy, help me out.
But Waterloo?
Nah, well, that too. Yeah, no, but I mean, like the financial conundrum one finds themselves in when they're politically compromised. Oh my goodness, they're compromised financially.
Quid pro quo?
Yeah, well, for sure. Also, it's definitely conflict of interest. I'm going to find the right word, but right now I'm on Stream Brain, so I have nothing in my brain anymore.
Yeah, I know. I hate that. That's the problem with streaming. And you're like, what's that thing called again? Yeah.
Well, now I sound like Biden. The thing with the thing.
The thing. The thing.
Yeah, because you didn't then pause, stare off into space, and say, "I remember that ice cream I ate."
That was some good ice cream.
True. It was really good. Yeah, it was over at Pelosi's house. $25
a pint. You notice the slippers?
Oh man, sorry. Yeah, Jason C. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Why am I doing all the talking?
Yeah.
Well, you're the candidate, dumbass. I mean, you're supposed to talk about your platform, but you're talking about feeling kids' legs under the water, or them feeling your legs, or something weird. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that was definitely a moment where you're like, what the fuck is he talking about?
What did I just hear?
Yeah.
Yeah. All the time, though, with this guy. All the time. All the time. I don't know. I don't know. He's not there. I mean, I have more. I'm more there right now than he is.
Forbidden Room was saying, is the word you're looking for a libel?
Well, libel works too, but that's not it. Okay. No, it's a form of malfeasance, but it's on a political scale. It's a type of corruption. Forget it. It's not important.
Yeah,
the word's not important. Yeah, I got the Biden bug. No, but honestly, I mean, in this particular circumstance, they're in big trouble. The big tech's in big trouble when it comes to this stuff. And Biden is in a lot of trouble. If he was in on the graft, because guess what? Story number 2, which I'm not sure if you're going to cover or not here while we're here,
which
would be the one where Biden says his dad was getting a cut.
Oh yeah.
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, and I don't have it. Normally I grab stuff, so I clip it, so I have it forever, so it doesn't disappear or change on the internet. That's the thing that bothers me. You know, the updates, they add the updates to like mislead you so they can edit things. It's called stealth editing. Like they did with the 1619 article, where they are stealth editing it all the time to remove words. Mm-hmm. You know, so yeah, forms of corruption vary. Yeah, I know, bribery, extortion, connery. Yeah, all of those things. He's guilty of all of them.
No, it's not. That's not it.
Yeah, but he's guilty of all of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. I am curious to see how the election is going to turn out. I am really 2021 is going to be a shit show, folks. If you thought 2020 was bad, it doesn't matter who wins this election.
Yeah,
it's going to be bad. Nobody, the writing's not going to stop. Obviously, they want to elect the person that's going to cave. So,
yeah, I mean, if Biden wins, they'll have been told essentially, look, rioting gets us what we want, and they have. I mean, every place that they've had the riots, the cities have folded, the states have folded and given them what they want. Mm-hmm. They are let out of jail without charges. So they're portrayed as heroes. Of course, they're going to keep rioting. The only thing is, if you vote Trump in, he'll do something about it.
Right. That's the thing I think a lot of people are coming around to, is that, okay, protesting is one thing. Protesting is proven to help the Democrats. Rioting always helps the Republicans.
And it really did. And it really has. I mean, think of how many people are fleeing Gary's state right now. They're hauling butt out of there. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, in most states, you have to have established residency for a period of time before being able to register to vote. So at least they'll be stuck voting in a blue state one last time. And that's the problem with everybody moving to Texas.
Well, that's the thing I'm really concerned about with people coming to various other states, is them changing the demographic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, there's a reason why your state is shit. Okay. Don't bring your fucking politics to my state, because you'll just ruin it like you ruined your fucking state.
The lack of being able to put two and two together is kind of frightening.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't know if it's they can't put the dots together, or if it's just some sort of stupid pride that they just can't vote any other way.
I think in a lot of ways they're kind of blinded by the ideology. They bought into the fact that if you vote R, you're voting for racists, and you're voting for people who hate gay people. You're voting for pro. Not pro. You're voting for anti-abortion. I mean, these are the things that go in their head, and they think it's like, oh, I can't do this because. And I talked to my wife about this too. I was like, what happens if there's a candidate who's a Republican that says, I will not vote against abortion, even though I disagree and I don't believe in it. She's like, I still won't vote for him. It's like, why? And
that's a weird place to be, but it's that whole, they've been, I don't know, conditioned. And that's the problem, is because if you go back in history, you start to look at the southern bloc of the United States. All the southern bloc of states were controlled by the Democrats. They were all incredibly racist. They did nothing, from the 1800s onward, even into the 70s, which included Joe Biden, who at the time was absolutely against integration in schools, amongst other things, essentially denigrating, a particular race that, now he's got a partner of. Oh, by the way, we could get into Kamala Harris's familial background, because that they own slaves. Mm-hmm. On that,
here's the thing: I don't fucking care. Okay, I mean, I think it's funny to bring up, but in reality, it doesn't matter, because it's not her.
That's the thing. I am far away from all of my generations of family. Not one of that I am aware of, going back in all the genealogy that we've ever looked at, has ever had slave one. Right. So, but it doesn't matter to these people, because they look at me and they assume my complexion, because it has a certain amount of pallor to it, and therefore I am X. Well, I'm not X. I'm a whole lot of X's. So, it frustrates me. And I'm like, if all you see are the immutable traits, and if everything that defines you is a selection of pronouns, you have a problem, because you are far more, or you should be far more than that small collection of pronouns, those immutables. That should be the least significant thing in your life and to you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So this is something I always say, but I never express it this way, but it's pretty accurate. Politics are like sports now. People vote for the person wearing the right jersey, regardless of the individual position. Absolutely. I always say that people are slaves to their political party. People are slaves to their political party. And it's true, because you should not just vote for the person just because they have a D or an R next to their name. You should never do that. You should always research the candidate, see if you agree with their position, and then vote for that individual instead of the fact that, oh, this person is a Democrat. And that's the thing. That's the problem with my wife. She sees the party, feels that they are infallible, and will only vote for that party, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. You need to think about these things. You got to think about the people you're going to vote for, and not just the be a party loyalist. So
one that creeps me out is when no level of proof and evidence is enough.
Yeah. That is very concerning. And like I said, this is the problem with the digital age right now, is that we live in a post-truth world. It's so hard to prove things as being true. I mean, now we're getting into deep fakes, which is very concerning, to the point where you can fake video. Suddenly you could have not pictures, but video of Trump saying some of the most awful things. And they're like, here's the proof. Here's the proof that the man's racist. Here's the proof that he supports the alt-right Yahtzees. And that, to me, is so concerning. And it should concern all of you too, because because if it's not true, they'll just go and manufacture it.
Yeah. It's easy enough to do. And basically most of this deep fake tech has been out there for quite some time.
Yeah.
So it's not like it may not have been done before, kids. You know, I mean, when people were starting to discover today, this was really funny on Twitter, that the Bidens have land on an island that's adjacent to Pizza Land, Pizza Island.
Poor Island.
Yeah. So it's, and it was given to them by yes, thank you. It was given to them by a lobbyist, essentially, or sold to them at a steep discount. Any number of ways you want to put those things. So much of this stuff is a problem. Yeah.
One thing I do need to point out, just because they own an island next to Geppetto Island.
Well, yeah. No,
doesn't necessarily mean it's proof of anything. I mean, I just want to point that out. No. Yeah. That's the problem. It's not.
No, what I am saying. Yeah. Right. What I am saying is that that there's a special attorney. What are they called? U.S. attorney, right? A U.S. attorney in the Virgin Islands is actually in pursuit of every single record for every single interaction with that particular island from any of the surrounding islands and or any of the inbound and outbound air flights and any and all logs associated with, therefore. That's so good. There's going to be more disclosure than even the disclosure we've had before.
I think this is the reason why they are so afraid of Trump getting reelected, because he's going to blow the lid off this shit. And I think that's the reason that Nancy Pelosi said that it doesn't matter. He's not going to be reelected, or he's not going to spend more time in the White House, which to me kind of came off as a threat, which is kind of
It was a threat.
Yeah,
it was a threat. And Trump said, "If I don't win, you won't hear from me." That was kind of an ominous statement.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Yeah. So it's really important that he wins, so that we can really find out what's been going on for all these years. Because if you think that there's corruption, you're right. You just don't know.
I think the big thing is, this is the main thing we should be really concerned with. If Trump falls down an elevator shaft onto some bullets, then we know that there's some fucking corruption in the government and they're trying to hide stuff. I mean, I mean, like, legit. Like, it's like we can speculate on certain things, but until something happens like that, we know that there's the proof.
Comey. I mean, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Comey has enough information during the course of his press conference to put Hillary away for a long time in federal prison, states as much during said press conference, and then says, but we didn't believe that there was enough information. But you just said that there was plenty of information.
Yeah, that's
why was there not? Yeah, that was the worst doublespeak I've ever heard in my life. And now that we're getting more information, there's transparency on that, private mail server. There's going to be even more of this stuff. If you think the beginning of October surprise had just begun, think again.
I'm curious to see how things can play out for the rest of the month. Okay, let me get the super chat real quick. Tactical command food for $5. Anyone I want in a position of political power should not want to be there. Yeah, I agree. It's a crap job that should not pay well. Well, here's the thing. Even it's not the job that pays. It's everything that comes after them being elected. It's the speaking deals and the book deals. That's really where they make the money at. It's like, I mean, they make like what, 100,000, 100 plus a year. That really is a drop in the bucket compared to everything else that comes with that position. The legal kickbacks that they get, stuff like that. So
there's a lot of that, though. There's a lot of speaking agreements, and the speaking agreements and book deals are a way to funnel money to somebody. A lot of money, because they get a giant check that a normal author would not get for a book deal. And they don't. Sorry.
No, you didn't finish.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, I was saying, getting back to the October surprise. One thing that's going to be interesting, though, that I don't think social media, thought about, was once they actually have trials about this, when the Senate hearing, the Biden information that was censored is going to be talked about and talked about and talked about, and all the people in the trial are going to talk about it. You won't be able to hide it.
No, it'll be all over C-SPAN.
They can try, but
except that the judiciary is going to have none of it.
Well, here's the thing that's kind of funny about it is it makes me wonder if for some reason, we can't show this on C-SPAN for reasons. Makes me kind of wonder about that. Well, they're going to try and find a way of censoring this shit or blocking it or having
they won't be able
technical difficulties.
And you know what? The Senate Judiciary will stop it. And honestly, they may bring in network television. They may bring Fox in. If you can't cover this, we'll bring Fox in. That's a threat that C-SPAN doesn't want any part of. And you want to hear CNN and the rest of the other media sources that are maybe not so friendly to the right side of the aisle.
Something I find really interesting, and mostly Safe points out, President gives away his presidential salary. Yeah, because he doesn't need it. And the thing I find so interesting is that they talk about how Trump is using his political party to make money, his political party, his political position to make money. It's like, dude, come on, Joe Biden.
Look how wealthy Obama became, right? You're talking about essentially a freshman, in his position that eventually went on to run for president of the United States and all of a sudden became fabulously wealthy.
Well, yeah, there's also the war chest too, because the thing that's so funny about this, and this is what makes it disgusting, is that they can raise all this money during a campaign, and it goes into the war chest, right? And this is what they spend on ads, commercials, campaign material, campaigning, et cetera, et cetera. Anything that is left over goes to the politician, which is pretty fucking crazy, right?
Well, it's been that way for a very long time. Here's the thing, comics. Here's what I want. I want all of this will solve a lot of problems in this country. If we as a populace demand that they eliminate lobbying, the legalized chicanery that allows them to become wealthy. If we find a way to say, okay, all of you that are in office, you aren't subjected to this rule, but you have to make this rule where you have to eliminate lobbyists. You can no longer assume funds from outside entities. And then as all the dinosaurs faded away into oblivion, we would, because most of these people are flipping old, kids. then we, as a country, I'll be long dead, but as a country, we will be far healthier.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's like, it's not actually the money they make as being a politician. Yeah. I don't care if they make six figures, that's fine, because they need to live in DC, and DC is not cheap.
They don't need to live in DC.
Well,
wait. Let me put a pause on that.
They have to have a residence there when it's concession.
Easy. I have an easy solution for that. Buy a hotel and put each one of them in a room.
Yeah.
There is zero reason.
It's really the money that comes from the campaigning, which is where they get a lot of the money. I got some super chats I got to get to real quick, so hold that thought. No problem. Jason C for $20, 20 American greenbacks. Keep up the great work, guys, and hail to all you great people. Thank you, sir. It is nice to see you once again. We also have, and just jump past me, from, hopefully I am saying this right, Moria Kitty?
Moira
Kitty. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. For $3, sending Lou love to this channel. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for stopping by. And I mean, since you're new, you totally didn't need to donate, but I do appreciate it.
She's fun. She's a fun kid. So. But honestly,
go ahead.
No, please. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that a lot of the issues I have with the money that they're getting is like I said, it's from the campaign finance reform, the campaign financing. There we go. Words, dude. Fucking think. I'm tired. Don't mind me. Right. Yeah. So it's I'm old and tired, folks. I'm an old country chicken lawyer. No, I'm kidding. So yeah, it comes from the war chest that they're getting. It comes from the lobbies, the gifts that they get, stuff like that.
Oh,
if they take away that source of money, I think you would see. Well, first off, not as many people being drawn to the position.
Right. Well, there's still a lot of power. Power still is going to have its own draw. But think about back in the day when you spent 6 weeks in Washington, and then you went back home and spent the rest of your time in your area, your district, with your constituents. You went back to your constituents, which is they don't do. They don't do. I thought there's oh my gosh, it's is a black man running against Maxine Waters right now, and he's taking a walk.
Maxine Waters is terrible too.
Yeah, and so he walks over into her, and he's like, this is where I live, which is here in my own district. And then he's like, now I'm outside of my district or whatever. And this commercial is fantastic because he walks up in front of this mansion that's freaking Maxine Waters' house, and she doesn't live in the district. So it's like so that makes me crazy. I'm like, well, how
a resident in the district?
Maybe,
I'm joking, but it's true. It's probably what she does.
But that's also a problem because she doesn't live there. She may claim it as her private. This is the other problem. We can claim primary residence where we don't live. That's messed up. I mean, in the military, I can understand that because, you're deployed somewhere. You probably have residence in Florida. I mean, if you're smart and because you want to avoid taxes, of course you have your residence in Florida. But, when you're not, in the States, but I think that's problematic. I think if you're going to live in a house for X number of days, I mean, just like with any state, you qualify for residency. That's where you live, right? So if all the politicians spend all of their time in Washington, don't they live in Washington?
You would think.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
pretty sure.
Yeah, it's a mess, and.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. The next time somebody says that they want everybody to have universal health care, everybody to have the same health care, make sure that they're talking about themselves too, because anything that they say that they vote into law does not apply to them, including their health care. Your health care and my health care and whatever we were subjected to under the CARES bologna sausage that we got fed is not what you get as a congressman or a senator. Or
they get the Cadillac plans. That's the thing I think is so funny is that yes, all those things that they vote on applies to the plebs, but not themselves.
Mm-hmm. What is your famous saying?
Mine?
Yeah. Something for me, but not or something.
rules for thee, but not for me. Yeah,
exactly. Yep. Yeah.
As very much the case. All right, I think we beat this horse into a fine red paste. Let's move on to our next subject, which is something I find absolutely hilarious. So apparently they're going after Gal Gadot because she wants to play Cleopatra, or they're casting her as Cleopatra. And
she was cast, or that's her plan, and it's because of the crazy Patty lady that thinks that everything's a feminist movie now. So
Patty Jenkins?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, okay. So before we jump into it, the thing I find so funny about this, and I've mentioned this before several times, the people in Greece are olive complected, and Cleopatra belonged to Cleopatra Ptolemy, which is Macedonian. This is pretty funny. So I don't know where people get this idea from. Hey, Cleopatra was African American. Okay, that's funny. I thought you were saying she's African. No. It's like, yeah, technically, I guess you could say that because she was in northern Africa, Egypt,
but not in America. But not in America.
But not an American. Yeah, so she belonged to the Ptolemy family, which was from Macedonia. Macedonia is in Greece, and anyway, yeah, she wasn't white, but she wasn't, as dark as the Egyptians. She was probably tan. What's this that you have pulled up, Culture?
Oh no, that's the same art. That was just a continuation. That was the new article from the bribery thing. Okay. With that was the second part of that, but we are not going to cover it, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay, so Wonder Woman 1984 star Gal Gadot is facing an intense amount of backlash to the recent announcement that she has been cast as the historical Cleopatra in an upcoming biopic, particularly from critics who take issue with the fact that she is of Israeli descent. Sorry, as I hit my microphone. What the fuck does that have to do with it? Seriously, what the actual fuck does that have to do with anything? Anyway, she's an actress. She's kind of tan, maybe not as olive complected as somebody from Greece, but
she's got enough of complexion to pass.
She's got enough. She's got enough. Yeah,
and she's slender enough to play Cleopatra. So yeah, yes. Fine.
Yeah. On October 11th, Deadline broke the news about Gadot and Wonder Woman 1984 director Patty Jenkins would be as actor and director on the upcoming Cleopatra period biographical drama, scripted by the Altered Carbon and Alita Battle Angel screenwriter. I have no idea what this lady's name is. Lydia.
Latia Kalogridis. Yeah, Latia Kalogridis. I think that she's might be related to a Disney executive, but I'm looking that up now.
Okay. The film will be produced by Atlas Entertainment, Charles Roven Jenkins Gadot, and her Pilot Wave motion picture partner, Jiran Varsano, this is why I always do fucking text to speech whenever I read an article when I do a video. Serving as the executive producer. I have no idea who that is. Anyway, Cleopatra, of course, was the last ruler of the Ptolemaic kingdom in Egypt until it became a Roman province following her death in 300 BC. Also, a lot of really interesting stuff regarding Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Despite her kingdom being located in Egypt, Cleopatra herself is believed to have been a Macedonian Greek, even having been established to the Ptolemaic throne due to her descendants from the founder of the Ptolemaic. Goddamn, that was really hard to say. Dynasty, Ptolemy the First.
I think actually it's Ptolemy. Sorry,
Ptolemy.
Yeah, I think the P silent.
Yeah, I think you're right. And speaking Korean Greek as her native language. Yeah. Not really sure what that is from. That's interesting. So according to Wikimedia, a posthumous painting portrayed Cleopatra the Seventh, Ptolemaic Egypt, from Roman Herculaneum. And the reason why it's still in one piece is because Herculaneum was covered in basically volcanic ash. Made during the 1st century AD, i.e. before the destruction of Herculaneum by the volcanic eruption of Mount Vesuvius, is located in the National Anthropological Museum in Naples. That's the thing I always like talking about Herculaneum because it is probably the most intact Roman city ever discovered, and the reason why is because it was buried under ash. It's really, really fucking amazing. Buildings fully intact, almost. Susan Walker and Peggy Higgins discussed the painting in their book Cleopatra of Egypt, From History to Myth, and indicated that it is likely a depiction of Cleopatra the Seventh. The writer over the brow, a large tuft of hair is painted rather like the nodus found on the portrait of the woman of the later 1st century year BC, and perhaps originally on the marble portraits of Cleopatra from Berlin and the Vatican. And this is the actual, it's not a mosaic, it's actually a painting, I guess. Which, again, if she was dark-skinned, they would have showed the fact that she was darker-skinned. Okay. The large eyes, a late Ptolemaic feature, long nose, and full lips are also comparable to the features of Cleopatra as seen on her marble portraits and some of her coins. Here's another fun fact. I don't know if you knew about this as well, Ishii, but there's actually rumors that Cleopatra wasn't as attractive as they initially stated that she was.
I understand, she actually was kind of homely, or at least extremely average, and had a very, very large nose. But that it was her personality and her voice that was just so attractive.
Yeah. The effect is somewhat more idealized than, for instance, the Antioch coin portraits, but there are similarities they added. And I don't know why she's in this picture with Brie Larson, but whatever. Make love, not war. Yeah, anyway. Yet, to the surprise of virtually no one, these historical facts did not matter to the outraged mob on social media, as they took to harassing and criticizing Gadot for being cast in the role. And honestly, as you can see, well, I guess they're similar complexion. Which Hollywood dumbass thought it would be okay? It would be a good idea to cast an Israeli actress as Cleopatra, a very bland-looking one, instead of a stunning Arab actress. Newsflash, not Arab. Just throwing that
the
out
Egyptians weren't Arab; they were Egyptian.
Yeah, well, that too, and the fact that the Macedonians are also not Arabs; they're Greeks. Just saying.
Well, that's the again.
This is the best part. Okay, this is the best part. Ask journalist. Not even trying to say this woman's name because I don't fucking care. Shame on you, Gal Gadot. Your country steals Arab lands, and you're stealing their movie roles. Oh my! I have to admit, this chick is pretty fucking hot, though. Okay, just throwing that out there. But seriously, for them to say that. You are fucking stupid.
Oh, she's pretty dumb.
Anyway,
worldview versus education.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a better, tan, not tan. Okay. So yeah, Gal Gadot is perfectly fine to play this part. Not a big deal. Should not be a big deal, but apparently everyone's making a big fucking deal about this. This is.
I'm in agreement with.
But it's not historically accurate. I'm sorry, Ishi, go ahead.
Oh no, it's just a lot of people have agreed, and I think this is right, that the actress they had playing Cleopatra in HBO's Rome was probably the best match.
Oh yeah,
she was great.
She was, and that was a great series. I am very sad that it got canceled, and it did a great. I felt a very good job of trying to keep things historically accurate.
Yeah, they did. I mean, granted, they glossed over some stuff, but yeah, they did an excellent job.
Not just that. I mean, like the costuming, the way Rome looked. I mean, there was a lot of things that they actually got right. And that was one of the things that really impressed me about Gladiator is there's like this one scene where you see these long poles and they're running canopies across them because for years they were trying to figure out what these holes were for. And they finally figured out it was to provide sunshade, basically covering the audience so that they're not, baking in the sun. And the fact that they included that in the movie really fucking impressed me. So it's little things like that, which I think is really good when they capture it, and of course, very bad when they get things wrong. So table flip for $5. Who want to bet she'll put on an armor and lead the Egyptians into battle?
God, I hope not. I hope they don't screw it up. I'm so tired of this.
Yeah, I am too. And yeah, she has like a really interesting history too. Imperial Lapia for $5. Cleopatra, a couple of generations into inbred royalty. Yeah, very true. Very likely she would have been some blatant genetic deformities. Yeah. There probably would have been some deformities.
Yeah. And look, I mean, Liz Taylor did a good job.
Yeah.
To me, acting is important, and you don't have to be of any. This is why it doesn't matter.
Well, the thing is so funny is that they're complaining about the ethnicity of the person playing. Then they should cast a Greek person, not an Arab. That is, like I said, it's some fucking funny shit.
Kalogridis, who's the writer and I guess producer of some sort in this, she's Greek. Patty Jenkins is not. So I mean. She's pretty white.
No, she's pretty white. Author Morgan Jenkins shared her opinions that she would love a Cleopatra who is darker than a brown paper bag because that seems a bit more historically accurate. Wrong.
Also wrong.
Also very fucking wrong. For your average Egyptian, yes, absolutely. But yes, yeah. Sorry, folks. Egypt was conquered by semi-white people.
Yes. Yeah, very. In fact, sometimes you cannot tell the difference in their power from those of us in the Western world. But hey.
Yeah. User Sarah Ahmed 989 declared that this is a new low for Hollywood, as she believed not one person thought to make an effort for her looking for the Egyptian actress after all. Oh, God damn it. Again, fucking wrong. Fucking up representation of ancient Egyptians. Well, okay. Okay. Again, acting. I'm not hung up on that. Okay.
They are. The most important thing to them is the expression of melanin in one's skin.
Yeah.
Flip. It's nuts.
If you could find a great Egyptian actress to play Egyptians, hey, more power to you.
Sure.
If you're looking for, if you can't find them, then you cast a bunch of white people and you make them look like they're Egyptians.
Exactly. Or you send me down there, send me down to Costa Rica for about 2 weeks, and I will come back looking very Egyptian.
Yeah. The level of disrespect is unbelievable, stated DDV in III. I'm not even gonna try to say that. Who took specific issue with Gadot being Israeli, and threatened that her casting is not going to end well. casing or casing. Come on, Bounding into Comics.
They forgot the T. Yeah. There's some weirdness in the writing right now. I think our friend Mr. Trent is suffering exhaustion from child.
I don't think this isn't one of John's articles. This is it's Spencer. Come on, Spencer.
Oh, okay.
I love you guys.
No, dude, they're awesome. I'm just giving them a hard time.
I'm giving them a hard time. Here's the thing, folks. If I'm going to give the Mary Sue shit for spelling shit wrong, I'm going to give Bounding Comics shit as well.
Keep in mind.
Got to be fair.
Keep in mind, we love these guys, and I actually tomorrow in my exit video on my live stream, I actually put their banner up as one of the banners I'm promoting at the end of my stream. Yeah. So Bounding into Comics because I love them.
I love them
everybody
too.
Over there.
Totally support them. Don't love the Mary Sue.
Oh, are you sure? The Mary Sue gives us so much content. Comics, come on.
Really do. But you know what? Just because they give us such great content to talk about doesn't mean I like them.
All right. I love them.
It was pretty funny. The other day, Script Doctor tagged me in a tweet about how they're looking for I
saw it.
It's like
I did. I saw it.
God damn it. I am so tempted.
They couldn't afford me.
No. To pull a Sandy Beaches, but they'd probably want to do a Skype interview, and I guess I could just say I'm a trans woman.
No. All you have to do is like put some pink and blue in your hair. You just like look at like that rainbow cotton candy thing that you get at the circus and just put that on your head. You'd be good to go.
I identify as a Nubian. Good Vibes Zone Lee summed up the argument of Gadot critics succinctly as they demanded that the film stop whitewashing history and giving the roles to a diverse woman of color. You mean like Gal Gadot, who has a tan? Because that's what
not only
she would.
She's Israeli.
Yeah, she's ethnically Israeli.
She's from the actual region. She's regionally accurate.
Cleopatra was from Egypt. Stop whitewashing history and giving roles.
Technically, she wasn't. You stupid dumbass.
Well, here's the thing. She could actually be from Egypt, be born in Egypt, and still be fucking Greek.
She's Greek.
She is Greek. God, this is the thing. This is the shit that annoys the crap out of me. Because odds are, and like I said, it's been a while since I've studied this crap. I'm pretty sure both her parents were Greek. None of them were Egyptian. Just throwing that out there.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Dun, 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 dun. Other users would be more direct and vitriolic in their criticism, with many leveling racist insults against Gadot due to her Israeli heritage. This thing that doesn't fucking make sense to me is like, that doesn't help your argument, okay? Yazzie H1
people ever.
Yeah, they certainly are. Claim that they want to whitewash everything so bad and refer to Gadot as Israeli trash.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's low.
Yeah. Yeah, anti-Semitic much? Just throwing that out there.
Whoa.
Yeah. Let's see. Some other user retweeted Gadot announcement of her casting simply to tell the actress that she was a Zionist monster bitch. Wow.
It's amazing how much they're not even hiding anymore.
Holy fuck. Yeah.
Dude, I can't even believe it. It's every single one of these are you know what?
Wow. Pretty disgusting. Let me get the super chat before we continue on. From Drake is 6 for $5. The only reason SJWs think Cleopatra Black is Mikey Jackson's dumb music video in the 1990s. Second was a Egyptian, call them African. Second, want to box an Egyptian, call them African.
Oh, okay. That was humor. No, I just which Mikey Jackson? Which Michael Jackson?
I don't know.
I think it was Remember the Time or something. I don't know.
Do you remember the time when we fell in love? Do you remember the time when we first met, girl?
Okay. Now that we're getting a copyright claim, thanks, Culture Casino.
I'm not Doomcock. Doomcock can get you a copyright claim. I am not that talented.
Okay. I seriously hope you suffer in this life and the next. Wow.
Beautiful.
Holy crap. You people are just people. Seriously, it's just a casting announcement.
That's really interesting. Did you notice the name? Did you notice the name on that person? Sisyphus Tired. What stone are you pushing uphill, hater?
Yeah.
That's all I want to know. Man.
Sisyphus Tired. That's funny. Okay. User Nicholas D.G. Hicks wrote, if you're a Zionist dead ass, if you're a Zionist dead ass, get the fuck away from me. What? I'm the most Jewish person I know, and I've never been roped into the Israel is our homeland UWU bullshit as a narrative. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I can't find anything in that makes any sense at all. It's a run-on sentence with nothing. It doesn't delineate a thought.
Hey, I get it. I'm dyslexic and I can say some really stupid shit on Twitter, but this really takes the cake. Okay,
it doesn't win. This
is like hate pounding keys, forgetting punctuation. Yeah. Oh wait, sorry. There's like one comma.
Is there?
Yeah.
There is after Gal Gadot. Yeah, I see. Oh, there's a period.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I found two punctuation marks.
Yeah. Anyway, I have to go back to work, but fuck Zionists, fuck Gal Gadot. And put some respect on Cleopatra.
Oh, I figured it out.
What?
I figured out who this is. It's LeBron James. This is his fake account.
Oh,
yeah.
Good call. Yeah.
Sorry.
Fucking nut jobs. Anyway, what do you guys make of Gal Gadot's casting as Cleopatra? What's your opinion on the amount of vitriol she's received? I think it's fucking retarded, man. This is dumb.
Okay, there's a handful of humans that were stupid. There's a handful. That's the problem with Twitter. That's the problem with Twitter. There's a handful of idiocy. And then there's a bunch of people that go, God damn, that's stupid. Pardon my French. I usually don't curse. This kind of stuff gets my ire up, right? My Irish up, whatever you want to call it. But I don't curse. I mean, it has been happening more and more. I got YouTube made me have a potty mouth, so I apologize. But no,
I've already had a potty mouth. YouTube just makes it fucking worse.
That's true. But look, that's what happens. You have 8 people that say dumb stuff, right? 8 people say dumb stuff, and it gets everywhere. It gets everywhere. That's the problem with social media. We have given the minority, the infinitesimally small minority, the insignificant amount of humanity, a voice that and a platform that makes them appear like they are the voice of reason and majority, and they are absolutely not. And in this case, it's just garbage. The thing
that pisses me off is that when people say these things, okay, if somebody who is remotely centrist or right says something like this, they immediately get labeled as being anti-Semitic. Okay, but when it comes from the left,
perfectly fine.
Absolute fucking crickets.
Well, you can be a former Klan member or have worn blackface recently and still get away with it if you're on the left.
Yep.
By the way, some people that have done that recently are really friggin' hysterically funny. Yeah. I will defend probably until the day I die, as mediocre as the movie was, Whoopi Goldberg putting on a fat suit and white face in the movie The Associate in the 90s.
Nobody fucking cared.
No, and we don't. We don't care. White girls, white chicks. White chicks was funny. I can find 1,000 things where I'm like, I'm so not offended. I'm so not offended. I don't even care. It was funny. Whatever. It's
your privilege to not be offended.
Well, fuck yeah, this is awful. What has happened to me? Comics are a bad influence. Said bad words all the time.
Good. Anyway.
Great.
Yes, I am a negative influence, people.
Anyway, right. I like you anyway.
No,
one of my favorites.
All right, should we carry on to this next article?
Oh, what do we have now?
All right. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done.
Come on, CBR. You should be at the very top.
Oh, you got a super chat.
Here we go. Bam. All right. Let me get that real quick. R-Far for $10. For crying out loud. Ancient Egyptians were and are still Mediterranean bronze-skinned people. Yes, you are correct. Everyone forgets how long the Nile Delta travels. Gives birth to endless
plethora.
Well, thank you. Plethora of ethnic groups.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing, which is so ridiculous about this, is that everyone thinks because Africa or Egypt is in Africa that Egyptians are black. No, they are basically they are definitely darker skinned for sure. But yeah, they're Mediterranean. I would say that they're a little bit darker than probably your Greeks, but because they're closer to the equator. But that's how that works, right? I mean,
yeah. You. This is the cool thing about heredity. You adapted over time to the climate that you were subjected to. Therefore, if you were close to the equator, what happened to you? The melanin in your skin, it had a greater concentration. Whereas farther away you were from the equator, you had less melanin in your skin because you didn't need it quite as much to protect you.
And I love Michael's comments. Some Africans are white. Yes, actually, I do. I've known some.
There's this really cool place called South Africa,
but it doesn't count because of apartheid, I guess.
Reasons.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing to factor in too is that the Egyptians were very cosmopolitan, and I mean there was a lot of intermarriage with the Romans, the Greeks,
absolutely,
the Turks. The list is very long.
Yeah.
That's where we started to do the right thing, which is intermix, interbreed, so we would get beyond all of this crap. In fact, I defy you to find anybody that's 100% anything. You're not going to do it.
Yeah. Anyway, I saw this article and just the title pisses me off. So fuck you, CBR. Yeah.
Oh boy, CBR.
Star Wars: How the Expanding Universe Became a Gatekeeping Weapon. Why is this relevant? Anyway, Star Wars fans grow increasingly toxic over the years, and the divide between Legends canon and Disney doesn't help. Well, you know what? It's not our fucking fault that Disney decided to take the legacy canon and throw it out the fucking window. Okay? Just saying. Not our fault. They chose to do it. There's a lot of people already attached to the canon that loved it. So I gotta get this. This is funny. Toxic Man Flu for $2. Culture. I'm 100% a-hole.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Yep.
I've been called that a lot. It's not accurate. Not 100%.
Welcome to the 100%. All holy order of assholes.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason C. Sorry.
What did Jason C say?
The chat. It's like 3 down. It's like 3 down from top.
Oh, asshole.
No. China is asshole.
China is asshole. Yeah.
Sorry. The chat's on fire tonight. I'm distracted. It's bad.
I know. The chat's doing fucking amazing tonight. Great. Yeah. Okay. For so long, Star Wars Legends continually had a avid fan base drawn from the pool of those hungry for more Star Wars content than the feature films could give them. Yeah, because there was this large period between the prequels and the original trilogy. So that's where a lot of this great content came out. And, to a degree, a very huge degree, Lucas gave its blessing to it. This loyalty to Legends sparked a lot of backlash when Disney purchased the property and rendered much of the expanded universe non-canon. But over time, that anger soared into an ugly trend. Legends has a lot of charm as a canon. That's a weird way of putting it. But it loses its charm when wielded as a weapon for gatekeeping, bashing on newer fans. No, we're not bashing on newer fans. We're bashing on fucking Disney. Back when it was known as the Extended Universe, or EU, continuity fans of the franchise explored books and comics to discover the backstories and futures of the characters they saw on the silver screen. Such continuity seldom had much effect on the films themselves, and indeed, the EU itself could be tangled web of contradictions at times. That is true, which is the reason why they had the sliding scale of canon. But, it is what it is. Go ahead.
No, it's just the whole thing's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to add.
But even in the EU, you still had a pretty linear progression of information, and largely the continuity was there, regardless of these statements.
And even the parts that didn't quite work out, or the contradictions, it didn't matter, because unlike the current stuff, the expanded universe, there was a reverence for the source material.
Yep.
That's the difference.
Mm-hmm. That is a pretty big difference, which was part of the reason it was easiest for Disney to create its own sequel trilogy. It's like, and I kind of get that to a degree, but at the same time, you pissed off a lot of fucking people, myself included. Yeah.
Well, anybody from age 28 onward, from the time of the first Disney film. Mm-hmm. I mean, sorry.
No, it's fine. Throughout the 90s and aughts, such contradictions mattered little to fans who knew the EU inside and out. Essentially, there was a good-humored attitude towards Legends, one which may have made many fans feel special for knowing the complete story casual moviegoers would never see. Who fucking cares? But one which there was no demand for every Star Wars fan to have familiarity with. Yeah, it was only because your diehard Star Wars fans knew the EU. Casual moviegoers didn't give a shit about it. Anyway, but the thing is, they still could have kept it. They could have done something different. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, confirming Legends to its own separate canon was viewed as a unforgivable attack against true fans. No, you just piss people off because they like the stories, and you just basically decanonize them. Yeah. Many of whom hated the sequel trilogy.
Adoy.
Again, for obvious reasons, because they were crap.
Very poorly made.
Yeah. Creators and moviegoers who liked the Disney canon. Again, I would say that they're wrong, but again, I'm just gatekeeping.
You wait a minute. Don't time out, sons. You actually can see the progression of audience loss from like the first film to the second film to the last.
That's the thing I think is really kind of funny about that, is that I pointed this out when I talked about the movies. Is you saw, yes, a downward trajectory of the amount of money they made off the sequel trilogy. It should have gone upwards.
Yeah. Like the MCU. MCU did this.
Yeah. Rise of Skywalker should have made $4 billion, but they fucked it with Last Jedi. So again, downward trend.
Okay.
You could have made better movies. Just saying. Anyway,
you could have sold merchandise. Yeah. You could have sold merchandise.
Nobody fucking wanted it, which is the reason why they didn't. Who went? I'll be honest with you. With the prequels, as bad as they are and as shitty as they were, when Phantom Menace came out, I was in line that night when the fucking toys came out. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't think anyone got in line for the sequels. No. It got so bad that after the last film, Gentle Giant didn't make any of the specialty toys that they normally would. Mm-hmm. In fact, there was an article, I might have it still someplace, probably not, but that the actual manufacturer was like, they were like, well, how about all these, these specialty toys, and the people really want them, and they're like, are you sure? This is the thing that pisses me off about the whole thing with gatekeeping. I'm sorry, were there people standing at the doors to the theater saying, excuse me, I'd like to ask you some questions about the extended universe, and if you can't answer them, you're not going in the theater. That's gatekeeping. I mean, no one's keeping you from liking the Disney trilogy.
All of a sudden, I felt like I was like walking up and getting a lecture from like a Harry Krishna or something in the airport. So thanks. I appreciate it. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, ma'am. I would like to ask you some questions about the expanded universe. And if you can't answer these questions, you're not a true Star Wars fan. Fuck off. Seriously. Yeah. It was a ripe environment for gatekeeping to breed. And even now, the Legends continuity serves as some kind of litmus test of whether or not a fan is real or true. Excuse me. If you can't answer these questions, if you don't like the EU, you are not a true Star Wars fan. Fuck off. If someone simply prefers the Disney canon, they deserve no such vitriol. But go to the sorry. But go to the most. I still have this airport full of Harry Krishnas saying, I just can't get rid of it. Sorry.
It's the way they phrase these things. But go to most. Okay, there we go. Go to most any online Star Wars discussion, and the preference for Legends continuity amongst their fans will say otherwise. Yeah, because they've been around longer. I mean, I think most people that like the Disney trilogy are probably younger, which means they haven't had exposure to this continuity. A lot of, I think, diehard Star Wars fans are older, typically probably Gen X, maybe. I'm sure there's probably quite a few millennials as well, because their parents showed them the movies that had that attachment to the EU as their parents and their predecessors. So the normies, the new people, yeah. I mean, this is the problem with anything.
And there is
just because you like it doesn't necessarily make you a fan. I mean, you're a normie, okay? Sorry, go ahead, Ishi.
I was going to say, there isn't this kind of reverence for the prequels.
No, there really isn't. It's like I know that is a very generational thing, because I know that the people, typically most millennials who kind of grew up when this movie came out, they really like them, and I get it to a degree. It's their version of Star Wars because they saw it when they grew up.
Yeah. But here's the thing, anecdotally, my niece, after Force Awakens, she was a little young to see it, but my brother and I were not going to let family members pass up on an opportunity for the entire family to go and see Star Wars together, because it was generational. It was amazing, right? Going to be an amazing experience. She loved the character Rey. She was completely tapped out in the second movie. And this is a little person. This is a little person. She's no Star Wars to her is lightsaber and rides at Disney.
Yeah.
That's it.
It is what it is.
Anyway.
So is there any other point to this article?
No. It's
CBR.
It's CBR. It's a fucking one note tune. diehard Star Wars fans are bad. Yeah. Let's see here. Is there anything else to this article?
Oh, there is more.
Yeah, there's a little bit more. We'll finish it off just because. Let's see. The divide between Disney canon and fans and Legends diehards are rendered very toxic and unwelcoming environment for Star Wars fan base. Yeah. Let's not also forget that articles like this don't fucking help that. Okay, this is the reason why Star Wars is so fucking toxic, is because of the access media and articles like this coming from CVR.
The studio is repeatedly saying stuff like, "This isn't for you. Don't see the movie. Don't help either."
No, it doesn't help. There's a lot of factors that turn Star Wars toxic, and yes, the studio and the access media are really to blame for it. And it's because fans called bullshit. And you can't have Papa Disney losing money because fans are not happy with it. Disney created their own canon does not erase the years of work to a degree that went into Legends, nor does it invalidate. Yes, it did. It did invalidate because it's no longer canon. The times and effort and okay, I see what they're going with that. It did not invalidate the time and effort its fans spent on it. Getting overly concerned with what is and isn't canon. That's the thing that pisses me off about shit like this. And the legitimacy of either is not, legitimacy of either is not of the true Star Wars spirit. Fandom should be an opportunity to celebrate common interests. Yes, it should. Not a battleground to prove how much more authority one person has over the other. That's not the point. That's not the reason why people are pissed off. It's not about authority. It's the fact that they preferred this content over this other content. And this is the thing that they always forget. It's not about authority. It's about preference. Any fan of the old expanded universe that perceives the new canon as a threat would do well to put their fears aside. No, they just saw it as fucking garbage. Okay? I think a lot of true diehard Star Wars fans gave the Disney trilogy a chance. Would you guys not agree?
Oh, no, I would absolutely agree. Everyone I talked to, except for the most hardest of hardcore hardasses, okay, when it came to Star Wars, even said, okay, well, The Force Awakens, they're kind of easing us back into it. They gave us something that is familiar. It's going to be the next film that's going to prove or make or break. We'll just have to wait and see. Right. I didn't, that was what I got. And that was my feeling.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I had conversations going back and forth with a friend of mine, both talking about, I was like, yes, it's a retread. I get it. I mean, he was defending it more so than I was. I was like, I get it. It's a retread. We're setting up the familiar aspects of Star Wars. There are some obvious glaring issues with the movie, like the fact that she whopped the shit out of Kylo Ren. Yeah. You should never have your hero prevail, especially if you're doing a trilogy, over the villain so easily in the first fucking movie, because you just make the character joke at that point. Yeah, of course, we all know that to do. Yeah. It's about the growth of the character. And the reason why we call Rey a Mary Sue is not because she's female, but because she has no fucking arc and no character development. She's just perfect the way she is. And that is not the hallmark of a hero. Hero is all about the growth.
Casting Wood wasn't a good idea either.
Yeah, she was not the greatest casting. Anyway.
I think a decent actress might have at least been able to give some life to the character that would at least give some depth that would make them human to some degree.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing when it comes to storytelling that we all relate to is the struggle, right? Because that's what goes on in daily life. And this is where the whole thing with the feminine aspect comes in, or feminist aspect is that, you shouldn't have to struggle. You shouldn't have to work hard to get where you want to go. You don't have to put in the time. And that's the thing that I find so irritating about it. It's like, yeah, you do. You got to prove yourself. No one is going to accept you. At no point in time did I ever walk into a building and have everybody accept me for who I am. I had to prove myself.
Except now, if you're female, every other female is your friend in any story that's told right now in media. Immediately, you're immediately friendly, and you have a sisterhood, even if that person tried to kill you 5 minutes ago. If you watch Batwoman, which I think some of you did. You hate watched it, didn't you? Anyway,
no,
if you watched that, no. I'm just out there in the world.
Yeah.
But anyway, but if you did, then you know that within 5 minutes of getting your butt kicked, you were immediately friends. Or you let the other party go. Or the Batwoman was just awful. God,
yeah. Well, there's plenty of times as a consultant, I've walked into a situation where I've had to prove myself to the alpha geek. It's just that's just the way it is, man.
Okay, comics. Check the Twitter DM I just sent you in the chat for the episode.
Diablo Dame. I let Az watch for me. I did too. After a certain point, I let a lot of other people watch for me.
Okay, which one?
Longbone.
Okay, the truth. The picture. That's a meme I made a while back, summing up what was wrong with the series.
Okay, do you want me to share it?
Sure.
All right, let me pull it up here.
You're stacking super chats, man. This is an active chat tonight. You guys are awesome.
Okie dokie. Let's see here. I have
sticker. Oh man, my head.
I want to make sure.
You know what? That CBR thing gave me a headache. It makes me crazy every time they tell the Star Wars story.
Okay, I don't get it. We keep giving Rey more power and more stuff, but nobody likes her. I mean, the more power and the money I got, the more my friends like me. Yeah, me too.
I think that's the disconnect.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This shit's wacky. That's
really at this point in Hollywood just needs to collapse.
It really does. It's pretty terrible. Okay, so got some super stickers coming through here. According to Christy, for 3 American greenbacks, she gives a thumbs up. Let's see. Jason C. twice sends $1.49 for a phallic unicorn. And where'd it go? It jumped on me. Here we go. And another $1.49 for another phallic unicorn.
Making his own herd.
Yes. And according to Christy, for another 99-cent poop emoji.
By the way, this is a fun story. So,
holy shit, she does it twice. So we have 3 poop emojis according to Christy for 99 cents.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, it's a fun story because according to Christy's here and she's dropping poop on you. My very first super chat, which again, I was not prepared for in my very first live stream, was according to Christy with guess what?
A pooper sticker?
Oh yeah, a pooper sticker. She pooped on my first live stream. Dang it. Awesome.
Did you this is funny, yeah. Did you hear meow? Yes, there was Tabitha at the door demanding to come in. And I said, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I heard her.
Yeah. She was getting really fucking loud, man.
Yeah, she was telling a story.
She was.
It was going to be an argument at some point.
Yeah, she finally decided to go fuck off. Well, it's like she's like a really sweet cat, but it's like, come on, it's like right in the live stream. I can't have you getting on my desk, rubbing up against the microphone. Put her down. She jumps back up. I mean, she's a cute cat and all, but really fucking annoying when live streaming. She hasn't figured out the trick that little man has to bang on the door. That's annoying.
You can come in now. Stop banging on my door.
No, I mean, it's crazy. It'll be like 3 a.m. and you hear ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. It's like fucking cat. Oh, and Culture Casino couldn't resist for $1.49 with a very phallic unicorn.
I have to.
It's not a live stream until there is a very phallic unicorn coming from Culture Casino.
That's right. Ask Gary. It's the truth.
Yeah. All right, everyone. I think it's time to wrap it up.
I'm kind of wiped.
I've been wiped. I've been wiped as well. So Ishii, we will start with you, sir.
All right. I am Jay Ishiro Finney, author and alien in a human suit. I would suggest you go check out my books on Amazon.com. Currently, I am selling a horror story that is 99 cents or free if you're part of Kindle Unlimited. It's called Death War Grease Paint, and it is about what happens when a children's show television clown gets turned on to the world of H.P. Lovecraft and the knowledge of the Necronomicon and decides to make it a part of the show. I think you want to read this.
Oh, wow. I know I picked it up last week. I need to check it out.
Thanks, by the way. Second, I've decided I am sick and tired of all these really, really bad websites claiming things that are cyberpunk that literally aren't, such as the Neon Dystopia website, which is supposed to be the cyberpunk site, claiming that Margaret Atwood's A Handmaid's Tale and iRobot.
Whoa! They're claiming A Handmaid's Tale as cyberpunk.
Yes.
Fuck off.
As well as iRobot, and it's like, you guys have lost your way. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I decided, forget it. You know what? If you want something done right, do it yourself. So I've put together a website called cyberpunksourcecode.online. You can go there now, and it's still being made, but there's quite a bit to find there. It is a complete guide and media resource for cyberpunk books, movies, you name it. They're all there. And I've even got a section for Japanese cyberpunk, so don't worry, anime will be included. But right now, I'm primarily focusing on the first and second wave of cyberpunk, nothing modern. So if you really want to know what books were out there and what to look for, this is the place to go.
Okay, I just plugged your website. I'll also put it in the description of the video as well, so people can find it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. It's pretty cool. I remember seeing some posts about it, but I hadn't checked it out yet.
Well, it's probably good you didn't go to it immediately because it was still a skeleton back then. But yeah, it's really come together.
All right, good deal. And don't forget, everyone, if you want to go and subscribe to Division Live, I think is what I called it. This is where this live stream will end up, and all my future live streams will end up after everything's done. So yes, I do mark them as not private, just unlisted. Yeah, that way you can still find it. But because of YouTube algorithm reasons, if you don't watch the whole thing, it tends to hurt the channel. So that's the reason why I created the live streaming channel. So go and check that out. Link in the description. Go subscribe. And I still have it on Uishi for some reason when I'm talking. Next up, Culture Casino.
Well, hello. I'm Culture Casino. It says that right there. I have a YouTube channel that recently was monetized, and I'm very thankful to each and every one of you. Thank you all very much. I am also very thankful to the wonderful person that's next to me here, Comics Division, who did a wonderful thing for me and shouted me out on a very big show that I absolutely love and pay attention to every single week called Friday Night Tights, and I hope you guys are all going to be there. Tomorrow, before that show starts, I have my own live stream, which I call the Pre-Flight. And I try to predict kind of what the guys and everybody else are going to be talking about throughout the weekend. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be a lot of Star Wars, Star Trek, etc. That's going to be infesting the conversation. And I will be talking about those subjects prior. More or less, it's just a guessing game for me, and then an interactive conversation with all of you in the chat, which I absolutely adore and love so much. And now that I've learned that my live streams are taking my channel down the toilet hole, I'm going to have to figure out how to get rid of them. So anyway, thank you all. Have a great night.
Yeah, it's always a good idea to back them up to like a live stream channel, because it's especially when they go longer. If you get 20%, 25% people viewing, it tends to hurt because they're saying, "Oh, your content's not good." So it's the watch ratio that's important, and it's the reason why you need to private the live streams, or basically
I will be doing that.
Yeah. Okay, I had a few more super chats roll in for Toxic Man Flu for $5. Cancel Comics Division. Cat lives matter. We also have Eric K for $2.99. Wipe well before you go to bed. Chat jumped on me. We have another pooper sticker for 99 cents from According to Christy.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. What do I typically talk about when I go out? Yeah. Go and check out the website, pixelnation.io. That's where I try and stick all my content. Ishi, you're next on my list to get shouted out on Friday Night Tights.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude, man. I love your live streams. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to make it lately. It also doesn't help the fact that YouTube doesn't send out the emails anymore, which is criminal.
It's bad.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got for tonight, folks. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I'll catch you tomorrow on Friday Night Tights. I'll probably have a video out over the weekend because I wasn't able to get anything done this week due to personal reasons and going hiking, camping and biking, mountain biking, which was fun and painful at the same time.
Over 40.
Well, that and the fact that I haven't been exercising, and when you get on a bicycle and your legs start burning, it's a sign that you're getting a little too sedentary. So, yeah. Good night.
All right. See you, man.